Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ron Waller with Ballin' Down South. I have definitely a special guest on here today, Coach Alabama South head men's basketball coach Robbie Robertson. I'm gonna pull him in here just so you guys can see him. They had a pretty good season this season that we just had. Of course, the pandemic has slowed the sports world down right about now, so everybody knows that. So we're gonna keep going with these interviews as much as we can. We're gonna get ready to bring Coach Robertson in here. And here we go. Coach Robinson, how you doing?
Good, Ron. How are you doing?
Pretty good, Coach. It's been I know you guys know we've been boggled down with this pandemic, with this virus going on right about now. I know you would love to have some of your guys on the court practicing inside your gym doing probably some shoot around or something like that.
Yeah, well, you said it's slowed the sports world down, and it definitely has, but it has not slowed the speed of my beard down. So hopefully, whenever they allow us to get back in this gym soon, so I can get rid of this mess. But yeah, you're right. Our guys are itching to get back in. Our coaching staff is itching to get in to work with them. And it's one of those things that we understand the situation, and the guys understand, and we talk a lot about it. It's more than just basketball. So it's about the health of our guys and their families and everybody that we come in touch with. So even though we are really excited and kind of eager to get back into the gym a little bit and get going, there's a bigger picture as well.
Well, Coach, let's talk a little bit about the season you had before it got halted. You guys made it to the NJCAA playoff in your region, the Southern region. Just talk a little bit about how the season went.
Yeah, well, we really didn't know coming into the season, what we had. We lost the Southern Division Player of the Year in Tyreek Purvis the year before. We lost the number 2 rebounder in the country in Zach Varnum before. We lost Glenn Robinson, 6'5", 6'6" wing for us that signed with Kennesaw State. So 3 major parts of our team. And then Tyler Stallworth decided to transfer out right at the last minute. When he got on campus, we kind of started moving him a little bit towards the point guard spot, and he just kind of took that spot over as a freshman and really excelled in it and really started garnering a lot of Division I interest at 6'5" and a big, strong athlete. So we lost a lot of production, a lot of minutes on the floor. When those 4 guys played a lot of minutes the year before. So we really didn't know what we had coming into last year. We knew we had a lot of young guys that were talented and eager to get their time on the floor. So we knew that they were hungry and excited. And then those guys, man, they just kind of bought into what we were asking them to do. It turned into a nice season for us, and we ended up playing a lot of freshmen guys, a lot of young guys, a lot of freshmen. We got all those guys coming back next year. So,
Wow.
as the year went, we kind of when we started the season, we kind of said, hey, look, this is going to be a 2-year thing. Let's try to learn as much as we can this year, get as many guys into the mix and into that college feel a little bit. And then we'll see what happens in year 2. Well, the more we got into it, these guys they started winning and they started competing and they started playing well. And one thing led to another, and we ended up winning 20 games last year with a bunch of freshmen. So with everybody coming back and the recruiting class that we had, man, we just feel, we feel so excited about the season coming up.
And talking about that recruiting class, number 1 on the list, 6'6", Braxton Williams. Talk about him a little bit.
Yeah, well, Braxton's a guy that we recruited probably for 2 or 3 years now, and he's just unbelievable person. Number 1, unbelievable family. Does what he's supposed to do in the classroom, in the community, and then on top of that, he's a 6'6" athlete that plays on the rim, can shoot the 3, handles it. He can defend multiple positions, which we love. We love to switch defensively and really defend all over the floor. So he can do all that. And man, he was kind of the one that we wanted to start with. And as soon as we got the verbal and signed him in the early period, he started helping us, reaching out and recruiting these other guys and helping us recruit these other guys. And I give a lot to him with this class that we had come in. He's the one that kind of brought it all together. They wanted to play with him, and hats off to him. He kind of took a chance on us when he could have waited through the process. He probably could have got multiple offers and a lot of attention being the kind of player he is. But he was comfortable with us. He was comfortable with our style and with our coaching staff, and his was comfortable with us. So hats off to him for kind of making a decision, sticking to it, and he's been great. He's I know we're going to kind of get into this, but we have some virtual workout stuff that they're doing, and he sends his in and gets back to the coaches the first one most of the time. So what a great kid, and man, we can't wait to get him on campus and get him started.
That sounds like some leadership traits in that kid, in Braxton Williams. If he's leading by example, so he's getting his stuff in. And Braxton was able to help Thomasville get to the state playoffs in basketball this past season. Of course, they didn't win it, but he helped them out a great deal. And you got 6'6" Timmy Williams, 6'6" Mr. Oliver, Adres Oliver, Alonso Wright 6'7", Austin Kelly 6'7", and Alfonso Hire 6'7". Talk a little bit more about those guys.
Yeah, so we felt like one of the things that we needed was size. We felt like we had really good guards coming back in Vincent Douglas, Manny Patrick, Lou Williams, Melvin Baker from Independence, Louisiana. So we felt like our guard play was really good, but we needed some size. We needed some size at the bigger guard spots, and we needed some size around the rim. So Coach Neil Lanier does an unbelievable job. I think he's the best in our business at what he does. He's an unbelievable recruiter, and he just knows everybody around this area, and I don't really have to do much with it. I just kind of finalize the deal. He tells me who to go get, and we go get him. But what an awesome person we have on our staff. But one of the things that we sat down and talked about was having more size and being bigger around the rim, and we kind of met that need with those 4 or 5 guys that you named. And we also added Kedrick Turnipseed from Sumter Central kind of late here. And, man, I think he got 26 or 27 a game last year for Sumter Central. And we all know how good that program is with Coach Mitchell, what he does up there. So we're excited about these guys. And if they can come in and kind of learn from these guys that have been there and done that a little bit, the sophomores that we have, and then contribute, a little bit and see what happens. I think we have a chance to to have a special year.
Well, one thing that I've noticed that you and your staff have been able to do over there at Coast Alabama South is that you guys continue to recruit year after year after year. That since your tenure, you've been there so far, and some of the guys you're getting, some of these bigs on this list, they're not your normal big. They're like hybrids. They can play other positions. The 3 to 4, they can dribble the ball, they can pass it, rebound. So, you got some athletes out there. Talk a little bit about the academic side. What is your take on that and where you want your players?
Yeah, we're a little bit different than some junior colleges. Academics is high on our list, and our administration wants us to bring in high academic guys. And, it's very important for us. And we don't have a standard. We don't have a number that they have to meet on the ACT score or anything like that. But for our program, we want guys that understand the importance of going to class, the importance of making the grades, and not having to worry about that. So many times you see guys and you read about it, and they come down to the last little bit, and they're struggling in the classroom, and they don't get the offers that they want because they're either having to go the next summer to finish up, or someone doesn't want to take a college or university doesn't want to take a chance on waiting on them. But our guys have been great in the classroom. I think our GPA over the whole year was 3.2 or 3.3 for every one of our guys. So we got guys that that still are trying to figure it out, but for the most part, 9 out of 10 have this thing figured out, and that's a tribute to them and a tribute to our support staff here at Coastal Alabama.
Well, you talk about Coach Lanier being a good recruiter and stuff. I've seen you guys at a couple of high school basketball games that we be at, myself and KT Thorne from Icon Sports. Having been here locally and getting a lot of these local kids in this area, in this region, how has that pretty much helped your program being able to actually put the eye test on them instead of looking at a highlight video?
Well, it's difficult to evaluate a highlight video because you don't see all parts of the game. You see the best parts of the game. So it's important for us. And this year was kind of a little bit different because we couldn't some of these guys. Thank goodness we'd done our homework early and seen a lot of these guys. But it's very important for us to not sign off of a highlight film. We gain interest. We communicate and start building relationships sometimes off highlight films. But we want to see these guys in person. We want to see them play. We want to see them work out. We want to get to know their coaches, their family, their friends, everything involved with them. And thank goodness that our staff has done a really good job and done our homework leading up into this little time that we're in, because we did our homework early and we got to know all of our guys and really built a relationship with them. And it's really made it a little bit easier during this little halt that we've had here.
Well, with the pandemic, so I'm assuming you guys been doing virtual things, talking to your incoming freshmen, and with some of the kids that left your program for whatever reasons, definitely the ones that went to a higher division. What made them be able to be successful and get those offers from a higher division program?
Well, I think it's first of all, I think it's the high character kids that we have. And that's what they want to do. They come in with a goal. They come in with a plan. Of course, we have great resources where we are. We have a beautiful weight room. We have a big, huge mat room that we do a lot of box jumps, and we do it off of mats, and we take our shoes off. So we try to stay injury free over the couple years that they're here. But because they're so goal driven and the high character that and the way they've been raised and all that, they have a plan. They stick with it. They go to class. They get extra lifts in. They get extra gun sessions in. I can't tell you how many times we leave practice. We usually practice late in the afternoon, so I can't tell you how many times we leave practice an hour or two after our team has left the floor, and we'll walk back by the door, walking out to our vehicles, and there'll be 5, 6, 7 guys still in there shooting off the gun, getting extra work in. We'll walk by the weight room in the mornings before we get started, and there'll be 2 or 3 or 4 guys already in the weight room getting an extra workout in before we get going. So when you got guys like that, it's nice to win 20, and it hurts to lose 7. But when you got guys that are working extremely hard and giving their all for your program, you can take those 7 a little bit easier whenever you got guys like that.
Well, I know, a few months back, breaking news came out. You now have on your coaching staff Coach Cedric Yeldon from Daphne. He was a South Alabama graduate, still in the Hall of Fame at South Alabama. How will you be able to utilize him and the talents and the tools that he has to help you out your program?
Well, I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get my pad and pencil out, and I'm gonna take notes from what he does. He's gonna have a huge role in our program, and you hear all the time guys go out and they go to conferences and they go to professional development and try to learn more about the game. Well, what a neat resource we have. This Cedric Yeldon coming in and being a part of our program. So I'm gonna hand him my whistle and I'm gonna hand him my keys and I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna watch and take notes. And but we've talked a lot, and he wants to get on the college level, and he felt like this was the time in his career and his life that he could kind of make that transition. And he's gonna be a head coach one day. He's gonna be a head coach soon in our hopefully not in our league because we're gonna have to go against him, but somewhere in the college ranks, he's gonna be a head coach. So. What a great blessing it is to have him there every single day. And again, this pandemic kind of cut him short coming up and working with our guys here in the spring. But he's excited. The guys are so excited to have a chance to learn from someone like Cedric.
So what are the goals for your program this upcoming season? Whenever you guys are able to get back on the hardwood,
we want to take the next step. We're ready to take the next step. We've won the Southern Division. We've won 20 games a year, I think the last 3 years, and 3 out of the 4 that we've been here. But we're ready to cut the nets down. We're ready to, our coaches are ready. Our administration is ready. Our players are just chomping at the bit. I mean, that's our ultimate goal, and that's what we work every single day to get to. And I can't tell you how proud I am of the guys. This not being on campus, it hurt everybody, but the way our dorm is, everybody lives on campus. Our players live on campus at our school. So during the summer, they usually go home. So we don't have access during the summer on most years. Whereas a lot of junior colleges and community colleges do. They most of the time live in
Right.
apartments. So they get to stay 12 months out of the year. Well, we have developed a plan to give these guys leading up and had no idea that this pandemic was coming on, but whenever they go home every summer, we give them a virtual plan in the weight room, extra individual stuff. So they have a plan. We had a plan in place. We gave it to them before we left for spring break, knowing that our school was probably going to shut down for the semester. So our guys have, each player has a coach that they're assigned to, and they send in their virtual workouts. They record themselves, and we've had 100% participation. Unbelievable what our guys are doing with the limited resources that they have. They're using center blocks, they're using folding chairs, they're using car tire. I mean, just anything that they can get their hands on, and they're just, it's unbelievable watching our guys, and you can see their bodies change a little bit, and that just kind of gives me chills knowing that whenever they do get back in our weight room and our the capabilities that we have in our weight room and on the gun and in the gym and the individual development we're going to get from Coach Lanier and Coach Yelding, and we're ready to take the next step. We really are, and we're excited about the opportunity. We know it's going to be difficult. Shelton State's always good. Gaston's, Gaston State, your son, you know how good that program, and Sneed, those guys up there, they're good in the north, and now we've got Ben Hicks in the south at Chat Valley. Selma's, obviously, came out of nowhere and had an unbelievable team, so they're going to be right there. Coastal North is always really good. So we've got some good teams in our league, and we know it's going to be difficult, but we're ready to take that next step.
Right, that's good. That sounds like you got some well-disciplined players taking the initiative to do stuff on their own, and what you guys actually give them. Coach, it's been good having you on the network. Like for you to come back on anytime you need to say a word to anybody, but glad to have you on the network.
Well, absolutely. I'd love to come back anytime. As long as KT is not on with us, we're good. As long as it's just me and you and KT stays out of this thing, we're good. And hopefully
All
next
right,
time
Coach.
around, this thing will be gone, and you won't have to sit there and stare at an old ugly man.
Hey, that's all right, Coach. I know when we get cleared to come out of this pandemic, it's coming off. So, hey, this Coach Robby
That's
Robertson, head basketball coach at Coastal Alabama South in Birmingham, Alabama. Thanks for coming on, Coach.
All right, Ron. Thank you.